Okay, here he is.
There he is.
The man himself, Joe Field. The man who began Free Comic Book Day and runs a tight ship here at Flying Colors. So tell me, Joe, a little bit about how Flying Colors started Free Comic Book Day.
First off, I didn't know our ship was so tight. How did Free Comic Book Day start? Oh, it's an old story. Next door is a Baskin Robbins. They used to have a free scoop night. Saw a long line out in front. I thought, hey, we can do this because the only thing cooler than ice cream is comics, right? So I proposed it in a column that I wrote for a magazine, and the magazine was a business-oriented magazine for comic retailers. And soon after that, the industry picked it up, and we have been running with it ever since 2002.
So how long did it take before it really took off with a lot of the different stores?
Well, even in the first year, we had really nice participation. I think in the first year there was 1,600 plus stores, something like that, which is fairly unheard of for something fresh out of the gate to get that kind of a pickup. So it's obvious that there was something about the concept that was going to be workable. But now we're over 2,300 stores, and it's all over the world. So it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. How many countries is it in now? I think it was 65-ish countries this year. So yeah.
That's a lot. That's like a quarter of the world, countries-wise.
Actually, it's a little bit better than that.
So now is to ask some really pressing questions for you. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
One superpower, the ability to answer questions that I don't know how to answer. If I had one superpower, probably precognition. So I could see what was going to happen in the future and be able to steer away from it.
That's probably a very good power for the comic book industry,
yeah,
right? What is the craziest thing you've seen come through those doors on a Free Comic Book Day?
Craziest things I've seen come through on a Free Comic Book Day? Well, we have our Free Comic Book Days are a lot of fun, and they are crazy, but it's not like there are super crazy things that happen on the day, other than just seeing 1,000 plus people come through here and get some free comics and have a good old time. But we've had some pretty crazy things happen in the store before. We had one guy many years ago who ran in the store on a Saturday morning and came up to the counter in a really frantic voice. He asked, "Do you exchange saxophones?" And I kind of looked around. I excuse me? He said, "Do you exchange saxophones?" I said, no, sir, this is a comic book store. And he looked up at the wall and looked around, and it was like he had cartoon feet and just ran right out of here.
I just don't know what to say to that, because I don't see anyone walking in here seeing all the bright colors going, "Oh yeah, this is a place that sells musical instruments, that's for sure."
We don't exchange saxophones. And then we also got a phone call asking if we sold raccoon traps. Apparently our phone number is somewhat close to a hardware store number.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what one thing would you say to get people who have never been to Free Comic Book Day before? What would you say to them to get them here?
Look, for me, the whole thing is if people are readers, they should be also reading comics. Comics do something more than just prose, because as a comic reader, you're working both sides of your brain. You're doing some interpretive stuff as well as cognitive stuff. It's a very powerful medium, and some of the biggest writers for books, for movies, for TV, for all other media are wanting to write comics or are already writing comics. I think, honestly, if someone is a reader, if they walk into a store like Flying Colors, they'll be able to find something that they will like and want to come back to week after week and month after month forever.
I wanted to ask you about this. This is a exclusive cover that you can only get at Flying Colors for that big event, which was really good, the Marvel Standoff Assault on Assault on Pleasant Hill. Could you talk a little bit about how that came to be?
Well, okay, so you can see on the cover is the Pleasant Hill Soldiers Memorial Monument, which is at the corner of Contra Costa Boulevard and Boyd Road. And I saw, months ago, I saw Marvel was doing a story called Avenger Standoff Assault on Pleasant Hill. And I knew that it was going to be a fictitious Pleasant Hill, but I also figured that if they were going to use a Pleasant Hill in the comics, that I could do something with the real Pleasant Hill on the cover. And with the Soldiers Memorial Monument being the most identifiable monument in Pleasant Hill, it was just a natural. So I was able to contact Marvel and put the deal together and be able to get superstar artist Arthur Adams to do the art on the cover as well. So it's another way that Flying Colors shows our local pride. We really try to do things that are that work well on a local basis, and this is just another one of those great examples.
Although I noticed not only is there a striking resemblance between you and a certain store mascot, but
we don't talk about secret identities.
I won't. I'm also noticing there's a striking resemblance between you and at least the hairdo.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. Captain America, Steve Rogers, aged a lot in the comics, and so when people tell me that all of a sudden I look like him, but I look like him as a 75-year-old, I'm not sure it's a great compliment, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, you tell me I look like Steve Rogers, I'm okay with it. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. Not tell people that he's a gray-haired, dusty old dude.
Well, it looks like they aged him down for this cover. It's more the haircut.
Yeah, right.
It's not that high and tight he normally sports. That's like, I think they made him younger on the cover and gave him a different haircut. Oh.
Yeah, well, me and Steve were, you never see us in the same place together, do you?
No, never once.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you for your interview, and
All right.
thanks for Flying Colors and Free Comic Book Day. It is definitely one of the highlights of my year every year.
Awesome.
Even when I was in Ireland.
Okay.
They were doing it there.
Yes, it's cool to know that it's done all over the world.